James Martin, and this is my persuasive speech. If I told you that there's a plant we could grow in this country and that would help boost our economy by providing jobs and much needed state taxes, what would you say? Well, if I also added to it that it's illegal but has yet to be proven to have any negative health effects, would you still go for it? The plant I'm talking about is called marijuana. Right now, it is being used for strictly just medicinal purposes in not even half the country. And what I'm trying to get my speech is to try to convince people that it can be used for other things, especially help boost the economy if done right. I'll give you some background on its medical use and then some compared to other so-called legal drugs. First, marijuana is already legal in 13 states for medical use. According to Peter Cadle, the CQ researcher, Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Montana, Colorado, New Mexico, Michigan, Maine, Maryland, Vermont, Alaska, and Hawaii are right now the only states that recognize it legally for medical use. Other states do try but get shot down. Other states just don't want any part of it. Although back in the 1930s it was legal in all 50 states for medical use until they deemed it people were getting what's so-called reefer madness, which caused people, they said, it supposedly caused them to go insane and cause violent crimes. So then the 1970s came along and they deemed it illegal even for medical use. Well, along come late 1990s, around 1996, California is actually the first state to legalize it for medical use. According to Body.com, it's being used right now mostly for cancer and AIDS patients. What it does is they, of course, smoke it. It helps increase their appetite, which, eating, it helps their immune system, helps them try to fight off those diseases, and also helps negate the nauseous feelings they get from the AIDS treatment, the pills, medicines they take, and also from cancer treatments such as chemo. And then the second point I'll bring up is California, and especially the economy, especially in California, it could help boost, because right now in California there's a $144.8 billion deficit. And it keeps, as of the beginning of this year, and it keeps growing exponentially by the minute. And according to Allison's statement in Time magazine, marijuana was, in 2008, $14 billion worth of sales. And if you want to compare that to their illegal agricultural sales of milk and dairy, that's only $7.3 billion. As I'll show you in visual aids, made a graph up in Excel. See right there, it's milk and dairy, $7.3 billion. You can see contrast. Marijuana sales of $14 billion. Pretty good increase. I've got another one. Should help put a little more perspective. You see right there, 66% for marijuana compared to 34% for milk and dairy. You put that, if it was legal back then, the state would have claimed $1.3 billion in taxes off of it. That would be a big chunk of that $144.8 billion deficit, and they could easily have it, paid off in a couple of years. Also, according to John Hoff of the LA Times, Jeff Wilcox, an LA businessman, has proposed to open a warehouse facility in Oakland, California, strictly for growing and harvesting medical marijuana. He stated that he would provide 371 jobs to people, and yearly it could also help with $1.5 million a year paid in taxes just to the state of California alone. Now imagine that spread across the country, because it can grow in all 50 states, because it can be grown indoors and outdoors. So imagine factories in every state producing it and harvesting it, even just for medical purposes. Think of all the jobs that would produce and all the taxes that would go to those states and help the states in need. And the last thing I'm going to bring up is, it's nowhere near harmful, at least hasn't been proven, to tobacco and alcohol. Cigarettes, according to ScoopOnSmoking.com, 4.1 million people worldwide have died from cigarette smoking alone. Because when you smoke cigarettes, it attacks your lungs, heart, even your brain. People with lung diseases, cancer, strokes, heart attacks. And then you bring up alcohol, according to MAD.org. In 2008, there was 11,773 driving deaths that are involving a drunk driver who had a BAC, blood alcohol content level of 0.08 or higher. If you want to add that, show that in a bigger picture, that's almost 32% of the total accident fatalities of that year alone. So obviously drunk driving makes up a huge part of the deaths. And also, according to Peter Hager, chairman of the ICLU Drug Task Force, he's also partially debunked the myth that it leads to harder drugs. It's more of a gateway drug. Well, he's actually kind of debunked that because he said the Dutch partially legalized the drug in 1970s. And when they did, they noticed that hard drug use such as heroin and cocaine declined substantially. So right there kind of shoots that myth down the drain. And then basically to summarize, marijuana can boost our economy. Even if they strictly use it just for medicinal purposes, you know, opening, let's say, at least one plant per state, you know, think of all the jobs, money coming in revenue and state taxes, and it's not any worse than the two other legal drugs we have out there right now. You know, I do not smoke myself. I believe if it handled correctly, it would help our country out greatly. If you want to know any more about its uses, feel free to look online or reference any of the sources that I cited in my speech. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening.